Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Master Jun Hong Lu.
Okay.
A pretty fascinating figure, honestly, in the Buddhist world.
Yeah.
From his work in media all the way to like his charitable efforts and his unique take on Buddhist teachings. There's a lot to uncover.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at excerpts from documents about Master Lu's life and his teachings.
Okay.
And just skimming through them, I was blown away by like the scope of his impact.
It's remarkable, isn't it? Master Lu's influence kind of extends far beyond just the Buddhist community.
Yeah.
Even before we get into his specific teachings, you look at the sheer list of titles he holds, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
President of the Australia Oriental Media Group.
Wow.
President of the Australian Chinese Buddhist Research Center.
Okay.
Chairman of the Australia Oriental Media Buddhist Charity Association.
It's a lot.
It paints this picture of somebody deeply committed to sharing his knowledge and promoting this message of peace and compassion.
Yeah, it's kind of like looking at a resume.
Yeah.
But instead of corporate achievements,
Right.
it's all about promoting traditional Chinese culture and Buddhist teachings.
Exactly.
And what I find really interesting is he's been doing this actively since 1997.
Wow.
Using media, which wasn't as common then,
Right.
as a platform to reach a wider audience.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what drove him to choose this path.
That's a great question, and one we can explore, I think, as we go deeper into his work.
Okay.
One thing that really stands out to me is like his pioneer spirit. He didn't just rely on traditional methods.
Right.
He embraced modern technology.
Okay.
He founded a radio station
Wow.
and a television station in Australia,
Okay.
specifically to make Buddhist teachings more accessible.
So forward thinking.
Very forward-thinking approach to sharing this ancient wisdom
Yeah.
with a modern audience.
And it clearly resonated, speaking of reaching a wider audience.
Yeah.
His public talks have drawn massive crowds, sometimes tens of thousands of people
I know, it's amazing.
from all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
80,000 attendees in Singapore,
Wow.
30,000 in Macau in 2017 alone.
That's incredible.
These weren't small local gatherings.
Wow.
This was a global phenomenon
Yeah.
with people traveling from different countries and walks of life to hear him speak.
The scale is truly remarkable.
Yeah.
He visited nearly 30 countries and regions,
Wow.
connecting with monks, lay people, and everyone in between.
Yeah?
What's even more telling is the diversity of his students.
Okay.
Over 20,000 disciples from all corners of the world,
Wow.
including over 100 abbots and venerable masters
Yeah.
chosen to follow his teachings.
That's wild.
It speaks volumes about the depth and appeal of his approach to Buddhism.
It really does make you wonder what sets his teachings apart.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the specifics of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door, which is the practice that he promotes,
Okay.
I think it's worth noting that Master Lu's impact isn't limited to just talks and events.
Right.
He's also a prolific author. And his book, Buddhism in Plain Terms, really exemplifies his commitment to accessibility.
I think so.
It's been distributed free of charge in multiple languages,
Yeah.
reaching a truly global audience.
It's a testament to his belief that these teachings should be available to anyone that seeks them,
Yeah.
regardless of their background or their language.
Right.
The list of countries where these publications have been circulated is extensive.
Yeah.
The US, Canada, all across Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia.
Wow.
It really highlights that universality of his message.
It's clear Master Lu has made a significant impact.
Yeah.
But it's not just within the Buddhist community.
Right.
His work has garnered recognition from a bunch of different international organizations and dignitaries as well.
Yeah.
It seems like he's seen as this symbol of peace
Yeah.
and intercultural understanding, which is pretty remarkable.
Absolutely. The awards and titles that he's received
Yeah.
speak to his dedication to promoting these values on a global stage. To be named Ambassador for World Peace not once, but twice
Wow.
at the United Nations headquarters and the U.S. Congress
That's amazing.
is a testament to the impact of his message.
Yeah.
He's also received the World Peace Award, Buddhism, in London,
Okay.
the British Community Honours Award in the UK's House of Lords,
Huh.
and even the ICD Award for Exceptional Contribution and Peace Advocacy to the global community in Berlin.
Those are some very prestigious recognitions.
Fire!
It sounds like his work is being acknowledged not just for its spiritual significance, but also for its contribution to creating a more harmonious world.
Right.
What strikes me is how these awards come from such diverse institutions,
Yeah.
spanning different cultures and even continents.
It speaks to the universal appeal of his message.
Yeah,
Master Lu's work transcends geographical and cultural boundaries,
for sure.
resonating with people from all walks of life who are searching for peace, understanding, and a deeper sense of connection.
Right.
And it's not just through his teachings. His dedication to charitable work also contributes to this broader impact.
Right. His work through the Australia Oriental Media Buddhist Charity Association,
Yes,
or AOMB, is a great example of that.
it is.
From supporting flood relief programs to aiding students in need and contributing to disaster relief efforts across the globe.
Yeah.
Their activities highlight his commitment to putting compassion into action.
And it's not just international efforts.
Right.
They're deeply involved in the Australian community as well,
Okay.
supporting organizations that address mental health, care for the elderly,
Okay.
and assist children with disabilities.
Wow.
They also organize events to engage with the broader Chinese community in Australia,
Okay.
celebrating important cultural festivals, and fostering a sense of belonging.
It's clear that Master Lu's approach is holistic,
Yeah.
focusing on both inner spiritual growth and outward acts of kindness and compassion.
I think that's a really good way to put it.
Now, I'm curious to understand the specific teachings that drive this work.
Okay.
Can you tell us more about the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door, the Buddhist practice that he promotes?
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The Guan Yin Citta Dharma door centers around the teachings and boundless compassion of Guan Yin Bodhisattva,
Okay.
also known as Avalokitesvara.
Okay.
This bodhisattva embodies love and kindness and is believed to share the cries of those who are suffering.
So it's about connecting with that deep well of compassion and using it to alleviate suffering.
Exactly.
But how does that manifest in practical terms?
That's a great question, and one we'll delve into more deeply in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
But before we move on, it's worth noting that Master Lu's teachings emphasize the principles of cause and effect,
Right.
or karma.
Okay.
And he uses this unique practice called totem readings to offer insights into a person's past, present, and future.
Totem readings. That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
How do those connect to someone's karma and life path?
Well, that's precisely what we'll uncover as we continue our exploration in part 2.
We'll break down that concept of totem readings, delve into the specifics of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door,
Okay.
and see how Master Lu's teachings translate into tangible practices for personal transformation and spiritual growth.
All right. Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the life and teachings of Master Jun Hong Lu.
Before the break, we're starting to uncover that intriguing world of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door.
Right.
And these totem readings,
Yes.
they really piqued my curiosity. It's fascinating to think that our birth year,
Right.
gender,
Yeah.
and even our Chinese zodiac sign could hold insights into our karma and life path.
It's pretty amazing.
Could you elaborate on how that works?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Master Lu's totem readings draw on a combination of traditional Chinese astrology
Okay.
and Buddhist principles.
Okay.
Each birth year and zodiac sign is
Mhm.
associated with specific karmic patterns and tendencies.
Okay.
By understanding these connections.
Yeah. Master Lu can offer guidance on how to navigate challenges,
Mhm.
cultivate positive karma,
Okay.
and ultimately move towards a more harmonious and fulfilling life.
So it's not about predicting the future in a fortune-telling kind of way.
Not exactly. It's more about understanding the karmic influences that shape our experiences.
Okay.
Think of it like identifying potential obstacles on a roadmap.
Mm,
Knowing those obstacles exist allows you to plan your route accordingly,
right.
avoid potential pitfalls,
Okay.
and make more informed choices.
That makes sense. So it's a tool for self-awareness and personal growth
Yes.
rather than a fixed prediction of what's to come.
Exactly.
It's interesting how Master Lu blends traditional wisdom
Yeah,
with a modern approach to personal development.
exactly. And this blending of tradition and modern relevance is a key aspect of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door as a whole.
Okay.
We talked earlier about the emphasis on compassion
Right.
and alleviating suffering. Well, Master Lu offers this unique set of practices that are designed to do just that.
Oh.
And these practices draw on both ancient Buddhist wisdom and modern sensibilities.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What are some of these practices?
Sure.
I know we touched on the little house before the break,
Right.
but I'm still a bit fuzzy on what that actually entails.
The little house is definitely one of the most distinctive practices within Guan Yin Citta Dharma door.
Yeah.
It's a form of spiritual offering, a way to transfer merit and positive energy to the spirit world.
Okay.
But it's not a physical house, as the name might suggest.
Right.
It's actually a paper form with specific sections for writing mantras and sutras, which are essentially Buddhist prayers and chants.
So you fill out these forms with specific prayers, and then what, do you mail them somewhere?
It's not quite the act of filling out the little house. It involves carefully reciting the mantras and sutras while focusing on the intended recipient of the offering.
Okay.
This might be a deceased loved one, a spirit that's causing trouble, or even a karmic creditor from a past life.
Wait, karmic creditor?
Yeah.
So it's like paying off spiritual debts from past actions?
That's the idea. Buddhist teachings emphasize that our actions have consequences, both in this life and in future lives.
Okay.
The little house practice is a way to address past karma and cultivate positive energy.
Okay.
But it's not just about sending something out into the void.
Right.
The act of recitation itself is a powerful form of spiritual practice.
It sounds almost like a form of meditation, where the focus is on the mantras and the intention behind the offering.
Exactly.
Well, what happens to the little house once it's filled out?
You burn it.
Burn it, like literally set it on fire.
Yes. Burning the little house is a symbolic act of releasing the spiritual energy contained within it.
Okay.
Think of it like sending a message up in smoke,
Yeah.
carrying your prayers and intentions to the spiritual realm.
Wow, that's a powerful image. But where do you burn them? And is there a specific way to do it?
Ideally, you burn them in a designated space for your spiritual practice, like an altar.
Okay.
As you burn the little house, you can offer a prayer to Guan Yin Bodhisattva,
Okay.
asking for her help in delivering the offering to its intended recipient.
So it's a very intentional practice,
Yeah.
not just a casual act.
Right.
It makes me wonder, how do you know if it's working?
That's a good question.
Do you get some kind of feedback from the spirit world?
That's an interesting question, and there are no guarantees or fixed answers.
Okay.
However, some practitioners report having vivid dreams about the spirits they've made offerings to, often seeing them peaceful and content.
Okay.
Others notice positive shifts in their own lives, like improvements in health relationships or a greater sense of inner peace. It's about paying attention to those subtle changes and trusting in the process.
So it's not necessarily a dramatic overnight transformation.
No.
But more about creating positive ripples in the spiritual fabric of your life.
Exactly.
It's fascinating how these practices weave together ancient beliefs with a very personal and practical approach to spiritual growth.
Exactly. And while the little house is a key practice, there are others within the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door that contribute to this holistic approach. For example, the practice of reciting specific Buddhist sutras and mantras daily is considered essential for cultivating a connection with Guan Yin Bodhisattva and purifying negative karma.
We touched on mantras earlier, but can you explain what sutras are?
Sutras are essentially Buddhist scriptures, records of the Buddhist teachings. They contain profound wisdom and guidance on the path to enlightenment. In the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door, reciting these sutras aloud is seen as a way to connect with the Buddhist teachings on a deep level.
And align yourself with those principles in your daily life.
So it's like immersing yourself in the wisdom of Buddha's teachings.
Yes.
And allowing those teachings to guide your thoughts and actions.
That's a great way to put it. And these practices are all interconnected. The recitation of sutras and mantras, the creation and burning of little houses. They work together to create a framework for spiritual growth and transformation.
It sounds like quite a comprehensive system.
It is.
But is it all about individual practice?
That's a great question.
Or is there a communal aspect to the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door as well?
That's a great question, and one we'll explore as we move into the final part of our deep dive. We'll look at the community aspects of this practice, the importance of sharing these teachings with others, and the broader impact of Master Lu's work on a global scale.
All right, sounds good.
So stay with us.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Master Jun Hong Lu and the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door.
We've been exploring some pretty fascinating concepts, from totem readings to little houses and the recitation of sutras and mantras. It seems like a very personal journey of spiritual growth.
Right.
But I'm curious to know if there's like a communal aspect to this practice as well.
That's a great observation. While individual practice is certainly like a core element of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door, there's a strong emphasis on sharing these teachings and extending compassion outwards to the broader community.
That makes sense. After all, we talked earlier about Master Lu's extensive charitable work.
Right.
And his commitment to promoting peace and harmony on a global scale.
Yeah.
It seems like those values are like woven into the fabric of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door itself.
Exactly. Master Lu often emphasizes the interconnectedness of all beings and encourages his students to actively engage in acts of kindness and compassion. This might involve volunteering time, donating to charitable causes, or simply practicing mindfulness and understanding in their daily interactions with others.
So it's not just about personal enlightenment.
Right.
It's about using those insights to create a positive ripple effect in the world around you.
Exactly.
It's interesting how that ties back to the concept of karma, the idea that our actions have consequences that extend beyond ourselves.
Absolutely. By cultivating compassion and engaging in positive actions,
Right.
we not only benefit ourselves, but also contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate world.
Yeah.
And this outward focus is reflected in the community aspect of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door.
What does that community look like in practice? Are there group meditations or gatherings where people come together to practice these teachings?
Yes, there are. Master Lu has established numerous centers and groups around the world. Where people can come together to study the teachings, practice together, and support each other on their spiritual journeys.
Right.
These gatherings often involve chanting and recitation sessions.
Workshops on specific practices and opportunities to share experiences and learn from one another.
It sounds like a really supportive environment for people who are exploring these teachings.
It is.
It's one thing to read about them in a book, but quite another to have a community where you can connect with others who are walking a similar path.
Exactly. The sense of community is like a vital aspect of the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door.
Yeah.
It provides a space for learning, growth, and mutual encouragement. And this community spirit extends beyond geographical boundaries, connecting people from diverse backgrounds and cultures through a shared commitment to compassion, understanding, and spiritual cultivation.
It's really inspiring to see how Master Lu's work has created such a vibrant an interconnected global community.
Yeah.
And it's not just about numbers or geographical reach.
Right.
It's about the impact these teachings have on individual lives.
That's what ultimately matters.
The personal transformations, the acts of kindness, the ripples of compassion that spread outwards from each individual who embraces these teachings.
For sure.
Master Lu's work has touched countless lives, offering a path to greater peace, understanding, and connection both within oneself and with the world around them.
I think that's a beautiful note to end on.
I agree.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, exploring the life teachings and global impact of Master Jun Hong Lu and the Guan Yin Citta Dharma door.
It's been quite a journey.
It's been a fascinating journey.
Yeah.
And I encourage anyone who's curious to learn more to explore the links in the show notes, where you'll find additional resources and information about this unique path.
It's a path that emphasizes compassion, wisdom, and active engagement in creating a more harmonious world.
For sure.
And while we've only scratched the surface today, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and perhaps even inspired you to explore these teachings further.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.